Okay. So last week we were talking about how the Rebbe views fast days. Since we're on the threshold of Mashiach right before, so we were saying how the Rebbe found that even within the fast days, even though luckily we have to fast, the Rebbe was still looking for the positive in the fast days. So much so that we said we ended up with the idea that even Erev Yom Kippur, the Rebbe was saying that hopefully Mashiach will come, and then we won't even have to keep Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur will be a day of eating and drinking. Okay, so this idea where we use that example to see how the Rebbe was really looking into everything and finding the element of Geulah within everything, okay, and recognizing that we're literally, it can happen any moment now, and then things can just turn around. So now we come to the idea, the limud inyani hamikdash kalach lemaisa. Okay, so again, we know that the Rebbe encouraged us to learn the Hilchos Beis Bechira during the 3 weeks. And here the Rebbe was again addressing this idea. So Rivki, would you like to begin?
Is that me?
Yeah, you.
Limud inyani hamikdash kalach lemaisa. Well, Oyser Ayan Mamshech Ba'isa Sicha Shel Shabbos Parshas Balak Tavshin and Aleph from Var Benegei Limud Inyani Beis Bechira. And the same idea in continuation of the Sicha of Shabbos Parshas Balak Tavshin and Aleph, and it's explained. The same idea is explained in regards to the learning of Hilchos Beis Bechira. Shekfish Takanos Shel Nasi Dereinu Yeshel Mav Shel Shivos Halachos. According to the takana of the Rebbe, we should learn in the 3 weeks the halachos, I guess, that have to do with Beis Bechira. You're going to give me more text?
The
building of the Beis Hamikdash. Well, you say Divrei Chazal, so idea limud b'tzura sabayis, ma'ila kadosh baruch hu leinu kilu baninu iseh b'foil. And as the Chazal say, that learning about the construction of the house is Hashem considers it as if we actually built it. באופן כללי, כל עניין של לימוד הלכות בייס הבחירה הוא חלק מהגישה הנ"ל, להדגיש את המשמעות החיובית של ימים אלו, לנצל אותם לאסוף בבניינים הקשורים לגאולה עתידה. So in general, the whole idea of learning Hilchos Beis Bechira is a part of this attitude, approach that we mentioned, because it's stressing the positive meaning of these days and using them to add in that which have to do with Geulah Sida. But this can be in various ways, and as it's explained in the Sicha. Nice of all Goshi Mechedesh Bechlolas Derenu Ze Mudgash Rak HaToiv Diud Zayin Tammuz with the Beina Metzarim Kevin Shaim Dumal Safi Geulah Shabo take of me and Mamish move on Shalim Hilchos Beis Bechira B'Shana Zu Tzarich Lias Ba'ofen Acher Legamri. So in the sorry, I also got a call, but I hung up. In the 3 weeks of this year, there has to be a special shturim in regards to in strengthening in everything that has to do with learning in Inyan Geulah Mashiach and the building of the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi. Because as we said above, this year is special. In not only special, the specialness of this in general of this generation, but it's special because only the good of Yud Zayin Tammuz and Beina Metzarim is there, I guess, because it was on Shabbos. Because we're standing at the edge of the Geulah, which is going to come take over miyad. So we understand that the learning of Hilchos Beis Bechira and this year has to be in a completely different way. His gabrus regesh havelus. Ve'ishtadlus l'sakin ha'chitzar the Churban Beis Hamikdash. Elagam lulei ha'chorban mitzad ha'kosev ve'ishtekikus la'meilas v'ashlemas the Beis Hamikdash ha'shlishi. So first of all, the learning is not only because of the strong feeling of mourning and trying to fix that which happened by the Churban Beis Hamikdash,
and the lack. And the lack, often we hear, and you still hear that people still talk about during the 3 weeks, oh, we should make Avos Yisrael because we're seen as Chinam, so we have Avos Yisrael. But the Rebbe was stressing, we shouldn't be stressing the Avelos in the morning and trying to fix the lack, what we're missing with the Chorban, right? Rather, what should we be doing? What should we be aiming for?
So besides the Chorban, it's our yearning and desire for the level of the third Beis Hamikdash. I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that we don't have the second one, but the fact that the third one is going to be so special. Right? Hilchased l'mashicha, ki'im halach l'maisa b'poil beregel shel achrei zeh, kevan shemikdash ha'asid, shana mitzafim banoi u'meshuchlol, kfar ata l'mayla v'tekef, yigala v'yavai mishamayim berega k'meimra. So even more and more importantly, that the learning is with the knowledge and recognition that surely that this is not hilchas l'mashicha, not halacha is for the time of Mashiach, but it's halacha l'maisa, because it could happen it's gonna happen in the next moment, because the Beis Hamikdash, the future Beis Hamikdash that we're waiting for, and it's already built, and it will soon be revealed and come down from Shemayim in a minute. We'll move on. Shahayel v'rak כאיס בשנה זו, עמדים בכניסה ממש למעשה משיח וחיים עם העניין של משיח כדבר שבהווה. לפיכך דווקא כאיס, הלימוד הוא באופן של הלך למעשה בפועל. So we understand that only because now, in this year, because we are entering mamash Yemaisa Mashiach, and we are living with Mashiach as it is presently, and therefore, now our learning has to be in a way of halacha l'maisa ma'poil, meaning halachas that we have to do now. But in previous years, it wasn't so relevant, and it didn't even fit this what'd you say? Not stress. This hadgasha. Emphasis.
Yeah,
I haven't used that word in years. And we have to note that the learning of halach l'maisa is not just learning it like it is. Halach l'maisa is not just about the feeling that we have when we're learning, but also the quality and the way we learning. Because we know that when we're learning for something that we actually have to do, so the depth and the going into all the details is going to be completely different than if it's just abstract or technical.
Theoretical.
And we could also add that it also will make a difference on the amount of and what we are learning. So as we know, the learning of Hilchos Beis Bechira includes not only the inyanim of the third Beis Hamikdash as it is written in Yecheskel, but it also includes Masechtas Midas and Hilchos Beis Bechira of the Rambam. That the main idea there is the form of the second Beis Hamikdash. Omnam kasher halimud tu mitoich kaisev ishtekos labayis hashlishi. Move on me'elav sheikra limud yeh b'mashenagei l'tzuras habayis hashlishi. She'af she'ena mefurish mavur mikol makom kevan she'uftachnu. She'lasad lova yigala kadosh baruch hu inyanai ulahaven hasasum b'divrei Yecheskel b'nivnehu הרי מובן שכשיש הלימוד הוא על מנת לבני שבפועל, הרי זה הזמן הראוי לסקלס עניינים אלו. Wow. So when the learning is with the desire for the third Beis Hamikdash, and especially when the learning is in order that the third Beis Hamikdash be built b'poel mamish, so it makes sense that our main learning has to do with, should be having to do with the form of the third Beis Hamikdash. And even though it's not explained there very well, but it's promised that in the future, Hashem will reveal all that which we don't understand in Yecheskel. So if we're now learning in order to actually build it, so this is the proper time to reveal these ideas. And therefore, the learning of Masechtas Midas and the Rambam is in order to understand better how the third Beis Hamikdash is going to look. Kevan Shema Shalein is Barbe Perish Lagabe Baisa Shlishi Efshar Lamoid Oisim Mitach Tzuras Baisa Sheni, because that which is not explained explicitly about the third Beis Hamikdash, so we could learn it from the form of the second Beis Hamikdash. Duk v'tishkach she'achein divrei harebe shetzaitu le'el paischem b'mira sheb'shana zu tzarich liyaz limud inyani Geulah Mashiach u'binyan Beis Hamikdash hashlishi dafka ma shalei matzinu hadgasha kizu b'shanim shelfnei zeh. So duk v'tishkach.
Liba, want to help us?
Let's. So what the Rebbe said above, meaning he started with the fact that we have to learn about Geulah Mashiach and the building of the third Beis Hamikdash, and specifically the Rebbe mentioned the third. We didn't find that in other years. The Rebbe didn't say specifically the third Beis Hamikdash, or just in general learn about the Beis Hamikdash.
Right. So that year the Rebbe was emphasizing, since we're on that threshold, we really have to learn about the third. Okay. So what do we see? Again, coming back to what's this really telling us? Oh, you Rivki, you pressed your mute button.
Maybe someone else should continue, or I should finish off. ומובן שעניינים אלו היחס למי הטייניאס ואיפן לימד הלכות בייס הבחירה אמרם לי יש דוגמה שיש ללמוד ממנה כיצד צריך להיות הנהגסי והרגשסי של יהודי כלפי כל עניין בו הוא עוסק בהתאם למצב המיוחד בו אנו נמצאים סך כל הגאולה כנ"ל. So you understand that these ideas are relationship are, I could say it in Russian, Yachas to the fast days and the way we should learn Hilchos Beis Bechira. So these are just examples, and we could learn from them how we have to act and how we should feel about everything that we are doing, because this is a special situation that we are now in, the threshold of the beginning of the Geulah, as explained above.
Okay.
סיכום, לימי הצומס ישנה משמעות פנימית ומטרה חיובית שתסגל לעשות לווה, וככל שמזכרנו לזמן זה תרס חסידות כבר מתחילה לגלות את המשמעות החיובית שבימים אלו, ומדגישה שימים אלו הם ימי הכנה לגאולה. So in the fast days have a inner meaning and purpose and positive purpose that we revealed in the future, and what more we come close to this time, so Hasidus already is starting to reveal the positive meaning in these days and emphasizes that these days are a preparation for Geulah. ובעמדנו כבר על סף הגאולה, בימים אלו מודגש לא רק ההכנה לגאולה, אלא שהגאולה באה בפועל ממש, וממילא יהפכו ימים אלו לששון ולשמחה. And as we are standing on the threshold of the Geulah, so these days, in these days, there's an emphasis on not only the preparation for Geulah, but that the Geulah will come b'poel mamish, and therefore these days will already be changed, turned to holidays. Rebbe tiken lilmoid b'mei bein hamitzarim minyanei hamikdash. The Rebbe fixed that we should learn in the 3 weeks about the Beis Hamikdash. Right. ובעמדנו כעס על סף הגאולה, הלימה צריך להיות באופן של הלכה למעשה בפועל. מתוך הידיעה שבית המקדש עומד לרדת בכל רגע. So now that we're standing on the threshold of the Geulah, so the learning has to be in a way of halacha l'maisa b'poel, because we know that the Beis Hamikdash is actually going to descend at any moment.
Correct. Okay. So now we have a very short iyunim for this chapter. Liba, are you there? I know you're there, but
Yes, hi, yes.
hello. Would you like to read our iyunim?
Yes, of course. רצו אין מטענין. בשיחת שבת פרשת בלק שהובאה בתוך הפרק, מציין הרבי לדברי חז"ל בגמרא, אשר בעיקר הדין יש שלום, ששון ושמחה, אין שלום, צום, אין גזירת מלכות ואין שלום, רצו מטענין, רצו אין מטענין. So the Gemara says like this: if there is peace, there is simcha and sasan. If there is no peace, so then there is fast. If there is no gzeros malchus, how you say it, and no peace, then they can fast if they want, or they don't have to fast if they don't want. Mm-hmm. What does it mean? שמזה מוכח שגם בזמן הגלות, לפני בוא הגאולה השלמה, אין שלום, ייתכן מצב שבו נחלש תוקף הצום, כיוון שאין גזירת המלכות. So from this, what the Gemara says, we see that even by the time of the Golus, before the Geulah, when there is no peace, there is a possibility for a situation that the tokef, the importance of the time of the fast is a bit weakened.
Yeah, because we don't have Gzeres Malchus, right? It's not like there's some decree on us. So if there's no Gzeres Malchus and there's no Shalom, still Ratzu Misanin, Ratzu Emisanin. Okay, so it means that the power of the fast is not as severe in our times.
He speaks about no fast tax or about the fast that we have already?
Usually these are new fasts.
אוקיי. ומזה למד בשיחה לענייננו, שבעומדנו קרוב ממש לגאולה, ובפרט לאחר התמוטטות המשטר הקומוניסטי במזרח אירופה, שזהו עניין של בטלה גזירת המלכות, הרי נחלש תוקף הצום, ויש להדגיש יותר את הצדדים החיוביים שלו וכולי, כנ"ל בתוך הפרק באריכות. So from here, the Rebbe learns in the Sikhat, what we're talking about, we're standing close to the Geulah, and especially after the fall of the communist regime in East Europe. So this is what the Gemara speaks about, nullifying the Gzeres Malchus. And then we see already now that the strength of the fast is weakened, and now we have to stress more the positive sides of the fast, like we spoke before. ויש להדגיש ולהבהיר, א', הלכה למעשה, אין פוסקים ישירות מהגמרא, אלא מדברי רבותינו הפוסקים הראשונים והאחרונים. So first we have to clarify and make clear, first of all, that halacha l'maisa we pass them from, not from the Gemara, but what the Chazal is saying in what they paskin, the Shonim Nachronim. ובענייננו, בשולחן ערוך, נפסק בבירור, שחייבים להתענות ד' תעניות ואין לפרוץ גדר. So when we talk about the fast tag, so the Shulchan Aruch says clearly that we have to fast the all four fast, and we cannot change it. וכוונתו להדגיש שלמרות שמדין הגמרא ישנם מצבים בהם אין חייבים להתענות, מכל מקום אבותינו קיבלו על עצמם להתענות בימים אלו בכל מצב, והעובר על כך נקרא פורץ גדר. So the Rebbe says, can we go back please? Yeah. I assume, no, it's the Magen Avraham says it, okay? That even though from the Gemara, there are some situations that we can change and we don't have to fast, but our father accepted upon himself also in those days to fast in any situation. And whoever doesn't fast, he is called a פורץ גדר. אלא שכמבואר בתז שם, הואיל ותעניות אלו כיום אינן מדין הגמרא המבוסס על תקנת הנביאים המקורית, אלא רק מכוח הקבלה שקיבלו אבותינו על עצמם, לפיכך יש בזה כמה קולות. כי כשאבותינו קיבלו על עצמם תעניות אלו, לא קיבלו על עצמם את כל חומרות התענית. So the Taz explains what's the difference. So the fact that we are fasting today, they are not from the Gemara and not based on the original takon of our Nevi'im, but we're fasting today because of the accept that our forefathers accepted upon themselves. And because of that, it has some things that are not so strange, the scholars. It's a bit easier. Because when our father accepted upon themselves those fast tags, they didn't accept all the stringiness that has to do with these fast tags. ולכן, בזמן הזה, בכל הצומות מלבד תשעה באב, עוברות ומניקות פטורות מתענית. בכל המטענים מותרים ברחיצה ובנעילת הסנדל, והצום מתחיל מהיום ולא מהלילה, ולא כפי שהיה בתחילה, שכל הצומות היו שווים בחומרותם. And because of that, our fathers not accept all the chomos. That's why we see the difference today, Taka, that besides Tisha B'Av, all the other fasts are not so stringent. The women who are pregnant and nursing, they don't have to fast. Besides Tisha B'Av, again, the whole time we're talking about, and the fast starts by day and not by night, and not like it was beforehand that all the four fasts were the same in the choma. They all started from the day and they're all more stringent. ב', כי this is the first thing. The second, הגמרא והשולחן ערוך הם נגלה תורה, ומדברים על החלק הגלוי של עבודת השם במעשה בפועל. בפנימיות התורה מדברים על חלק הפנימי של עבודת השם במוח ובלב. So Gemara and Shulchan Aruch, they are the nigla part of the Torah, and they talk only about things that the Golis part of Avodas Hashem, that what we're doing actually, the Ma'aseh B'Foya. But the Pnimis of Torah, it talks about the part of the Pnimis of the Avodas Hashem. This is part that we are doing with our heart and with our moyach, with our brains. ועל דרך זה בענייננו, שהגמרא והשולחן ערוך מבארים כיצד יהודי צריך לנהוג בימי הצומות במעשה בפועל. ובחסידות בכלל, כולל הדבר מלכוס של שבת פרשת בלק תנעשה, מבארים עם מה יהודי צריך לחיות ולהרגיש בימים אלו. So the same thing when we talk about these fast days. The Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara tells us how we have to do actually, the actual side of the fast. But Chassidus in general, especially, including the Dvar Machos of Shabbos Parshas Bolak, the Rebbe speaks over there how it has to feel, how he has to live in those days. וחנ"ל באריכות, שצריך להיות מודגש ההכנה לגאולה, ושיהפכו ימים אלו לששון ולשמחה וכו'. שכל אלו הם עניינים הנוגעים לרגש האדם, מבלי להתנגש עם ההלכה הברורה בשולחן ערוך. So, like we spoke in length before, that in those days we're stressing the preparation for the Geulah and for the time when those days will change and be happy days. And all this is not a contradiction to what this has to do with our feelings, and without this is not contradiction to the clear halacha that says in Shulchan Aruch. וכפי שהמתבונן בשיחה, יראה ברור שבכל השיחה מוליך קו של הדרכה כיצד צריך להיות הרגש הפנימי בימי התענית. ואין מילה אחת המהווה הוראה להנהגה במעשה בפועל, בתענית וכו'. שהרי בשולחן ערוך כבר נפסק ברור כיצד צריך לנהוג למעשה ביום זה. So whoever is looking good in the Sikha of the Rebbe, he sees clearly that the whole Sikha the Rebbe speaks, like he puts a line of how we have to feel, how it's to be our inner feeling in the day of the fast. But it doesn't say, even one word doesn't talk about how we have to do actually in the tinies. Because it's already says, it's already abstract, clear in the halacha that how we have to do, we have to fast in those days. ג' גם במקרים שדברי הגמרא אינם להלכה למעשה. מכל מקום צריך ללמוד את הגמרא ולהתבונן בדבריה, ואפשר גם להוציא מתוכה הוראות והדרכות בעבודת השם הפנימית במוח ובלב. So also in cases that the Gemara speaks about things that they are not halacha lemaisa, still there is place that we can learn from there and to learn and involve, I say, look more what it says in depth, and to learn from the Hairos and Adochas how we have to for Avodas Hashem, the inner Avodas Hashem in the brains and in the heart. וכך גם בענייננו. הרבי בשיחה מביא דברי הגמרא בנוגע לרצו אין מטענין, בכדי להראות בהם את הרעיון היסודי, שגם בזמן הגלות ישנם זמנים מסוימים, שבהם נחלש תוקף הצום. So the same in our opinion, the Rebbe brings in the Sikha what the Gemara says about when they don't want, they don't have to, when they want, they don't have to fast. To show the basic idea that also in the times of Golus, there are certain times that the strength and the power of the fast is being weakened. ואף שדברים אלו אינם נוגעים להלכה למעשה. מכל מקום, הרבי מסיק מכך בנוגע לרגש הפנימי שבמוח ובלב, שבימים אלו פוחת רגש הצער והאבלות, ומוסיף והולך הרגש, ההכנה לגאולה וכו'. So also here again, even though it doesn't have to do with halacha lemasa, to the actual what we are doing, but still the Rebbe concludes from it how we have to feel in our inner feelings in the brain and the heart. But in those days, we have less the feeling of sour and avelus, and we're adding more in the feeling of preparation for the Geulah. וכאשר בקרוב ממש יושלם הניצחון על כל האומות ויבנה המקדש במקומו, אזי תהיה זאת גאולה שלמה וימות המשיח בשלמותם, ואז אכן תתקיים ההלכה שיהפכו ימים אלו לששון ולשמחה כפשוטה ובשלמותה במעשה בפועל. So very soon, when the victory of Mashiach on all the nations will be complete, and he will build the Beis HaMikdash in its place, then it will be the complete Geulah and the complete days of Mashiach. And then Taki will have this halacha. It will be actually the halacha that those days will be changed to happy days, and it will be in a complete way, also in the actuality.
Amen. Well, we see that this year.
Yeah, man. Could you do a quick review of it? Like it's 3 different points. They're one after
Okay,
another.
so because this whole time we're saying how do we have to approach the fast day? So we were emphasizing this positive aspect, right? So the thing is that so we're just going into the fact when the Rebbe was talking about all of this, of how we have to approach the fast days and emphasize the simcha, right? That we are getting closer to the final redemption. So in that sikha, the Rebbe talks about this particular Gemara, right? That says, Yesham simcha tzom, ein zeres machos, ve'ein shalom. So you could fast, you don't fast. So first of all, the fact that the Rebbe quotes that, what do we see from there? So we see that right now, that means that after the fall of communism, based on the Gemara, we're in a time where we could argue that there is a sense of a weakness in the severity of the fast already, because there's no Gzeres HaMalchus. And after the Gemara says, if there's Ein Gzeres HaMalchus and Ein Shalom, so Ein Shalom is Golus, Ein Gzeres HaMalchus, okay, so we don't have countries anymore restricting it. So then we have this Gemara saying, so if you want, you fast. If you don't want, you don't have to fast. Okay, so that's number one. But we said we have to clarify three things. Number one, obviously, we don't take halacha l'maisa out of a Gemara. Okay, so just because the Gemara says that doesn't mean in any way that we are allowed to minimize our fasting. Okay, everything that we do on a fast day until Mashiach actually comes, we have to keep doing it. We're not allowed to break the gedra of that. Number one. However, we do see though that in a sense there is a bit of a weakening of the fast days, because today, originally fast days were a fast day meant like Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av were full fast days from the night to the next day. So we do see though that because the fast day that we do for the Chorban is based on what our fathers took upon themselves, they didn't take upon themselves that stringency of a 25-hour fast for Asar B'Tevet and Shavas B'Tammuz, right? Or even Saim Gedalio. There's a lessening of that. So therefore, we see, in a sense, even though halach l'maisa we fast, we could still see elements of this lessening of the severity of the fast. It's only from morning to night, and certain people are exempt, and we're still allowed to wash, so we're still allowed to wear shoes, except for the Yom Kippur, which is in the Torah, and the Tisha B'Av. Okay, so that's number one. Second thing is that when we talk about the Gemara, we're talking about the halacha, in other words, what we actually do. But that doesn't negate what the Rebbe is saying, is that even though we actually have to fast, because that's halacha, it doesn't change the fact that we can feel in our hearts, we can feel the joy of this day, any second now, this day can turn to a day of simcha. Okay, so we can have both of those things, because here we're talking about the feeling, not what we're doing. Right? The Rebbe from Chassidus is talking about the inside, where the halacha of fasting is on the outside. Okay. Okay, so that's the second point. And the third point is that even though the Gemara is talking about halacha l'maisa, that you can still see that the fact that the Gemara says if they want to, they fast, if they don't want to, they don't fast. So the Gemara then is hinting to this idea that there are times when the fasts are weakened. And even though, like we see that in the Gemara, which is Nigla, they're saying the fasts are weakened. So even though it doesn't apply, again, emphasizing it doesn't apply halacha l'maisa, it doesn't mean we don't have to fast. But certainly there can be a weakening in the fast in terms of the feeling that we have to the fast. Instead of emphasizing the mourning and the tsar and avelos of the fast, right, that we feel the positivity of it, right? Which is again what the Rebbe kind of stressed, like Tisha B'Av said, it's not just about mourning and sitting and crying all day. The Rebbe wants to see Tisha B'Av as a day to celebrate. This is the day that Mashiach was born. This is the day that this is going to be a powerful day. Let's learn about the Beis Hamikdash and spend this day figuring out what the Beis Hamikdash is going to look like. And that should be our attitude to these fast days. That we are feeling literally we're going to fast, but this is going to be completely transformed to something completely different. Taka may be this year. We're coming into the month of Tammuz, and we should have a month of Tammuz that's purely a month of Geulah.
Amen.
Without any fasting and no fast days.
Hatzlacha in your writing your program. We'll be waiting.
Right.
I'll be waiting to get it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
much.